Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Beast Move back here again for another live stream pre-game show. Celtics, Bucks, Game 4. Here with Celtics Corner. A lot of people are in the waiting room, just people commenting and people talking, trying to spoil things. Yes, I know there's an injury we can talk about here shortly. It is not me by myself today. No shot. We got better people who maybe know basketball better than I do. We have Bree to my left and to my right. I have no idea. Bree, how you doing today?
Good. Other than the Rob Will news, which makes me want to cry right now, I am doing good. Threw this on for some good luck. Let's hope it sends it that way.
Nice. I like the white is a beautiful touch with the background. I mess with it. We have Cal to the bottom right. I don't know. Cal, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. Celtics, they gotta do it today.
They got to do it. Okay.
Have to.
It's a must.
Before we get to our special guest for today, Cal, I want to get back to you really quick because last time we were on the stream, I had mentioned something and I was like, yo, Giannis probably going to go for like 40 points, just something shallow. And you were like, nah, he won't even score 20. Right? You remember that? Was that a conversation we had or am I lying here?
It was 30. I said he want to get 30.
He wouldn't get 30. Okay. And I did say I'd put a $50 Amazon gift card if he didn't get 30 points. He obviously smashed the 30 points. So people mad in the comment section, be mad at my guy Cal. But speaking of Bucks fans and being Buck greatness, we have a special guest joining us. Someone had added me on Twitter saying, Bobby, get this person on the show. I said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's get it in prime time in Game 4 pregame show. We have Camille, who is co-host of the Technical Foul podcast. Got that correct? And also is a regular guest on Locked On Bucks. Camille, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Like I said a little bit earlier, I'm nervous. I'm anxious for Game 4. I don't need to explain to y'all, but this is a huge game on both sides. I mean, Celtics pick up a win, get home court back, heading back to Boston, a tough place to play. Bucks win tonight. 3-1 hole is kind of hard to come back from, especially with the way that Giannis has been playing basketball over the last couple of years.
So we're going to talk a lot about Giannis, a lot about 3-1 holes potentially, but a lot of people in the comment section, appreciate everyone joining in. Hit the like button. It literally is free, but we can get really into our starting lineups. To get into it now, Marcus Smart obviously is there. Brown is there. Tatum's there. Bobby, where the hell is Rob Williams? I can let you know Robert Williams, maybe literally 25 minutes ago, shout out to Bree for telling me, is out due to left knee soreness. Now we could talk about, is this because he rushed back from injury and surgery? Potentially. Is this because maybe he's just an injury-prone guy? Maybe, who knows? But he is out. Now, to be fair, I'll get to my thoughts later. It's not a bad thing. Grant Williams is going to take a spot probably in the starting lineup. Al Horford rounding up to 5. And for the Bucks, I actually had their lineup switched last game, but they did insert, I believe, Grayson Allen to start, and Bobby Portis was on the bench last game. So here's the starting 5 they probably would run against since they won last game. Bree, we can start with you. We don't have to get into individual matchups. Your thought on Robert Williams' loss for the squad and how it affects or positively affects the Celtics team here?
Well, it's awful. I mean, they were having him and Al pretty much run it, right? Like, because I was like, where's Tice? They hate Tice. I don't know what's happening. Like, Tice was just non-existent for the first couple of games. You saw him in Game 3. Did he help? Kind of, not really. I don't know. Having Rob out is huge. I know there's a lot of people that obviously like to talk shit and like to say negative things about him, saying that he jumps at everything and that he draws a lot of he gets a lot of fouls called on him early and that he doesn't really positively affect the game. But those people don't know basketball, don't know how to watch basketball, because Rob Williams is a huge factor. And having him out again is just a complete disadvantage for the Celtics. So yeah, I'm very worried about that. I'm assuming that means Tice gets to play today. And I'm hoping that, he doesn't start off with 2 fouls before he even enters the game. And he will try to help, fill that void that Rob Williams is going to leave for us today. Because it's a big void. I'll tell you that. I'm not happy.
Interesting stuff. Now, what I will say is, yes, Rob playing, again, he doesn't play a lot of minutes. He plays like 23, 24 minutes each, basically last couple games. And Grant Williams has played like 32, 33 minutes. He's played a bulk of those minutes anyway. He's pretty much ended the game pretty much every single time. So that end of the game lineups, I'm not scared for. Now, again, if it's a blowout, it wouldn't matter. But close game, Grant's going to play regardless. However, I'm fearing now Daniel Tice is playing those extra 22 minutes. So that's a rough part. I think another key factor is foul trouble. And again, they're going to get in foul trouble with Giannis. So foul trouble, who are you asking? Is Luke Cornett, tall as Luke Cornett, about to hop on this floor? That's a bad sign. if Luke Cornett is playing on the floor, Cal, me and you are gonna have a problem here because I know that's your favorite player. Cal, your thoughts on Rob Williams not playing? Are you cool with this though? Luke Cornett might play more minutes for Daniel Tice. Your thoughts here, bro?
Luke Cornett is he is good for the regular season. That's about it. I do not want to see him in the playoffs. Tice cannot come in and get fouls quick. Rob, I'm not surprised that he's out. Like I was saying before we even got to the playoffs, this is what we should expect from Rob for the rest of his career. I mean, those knees, he got the knees of a 50-year-old. He got them Derrick Rose knees real early. But yeah, Tyson needs to really step up this game. This is Tyson Grant Williams' game to look like they are stars. That's what we need out of them.
Interesting thoughts.
I thought Grant looked great though against Giannis. I'm very, very, very impressed with Grant. Amazing. Very impressed with Grant, but you can't expect him to play the whole game. So like that's going to be tough, especially if he's going to split. Like I don't know. You're going to have Tice and Horford and Grant and Smart really be on Giannis, but it's going to be tough.
Speaking of making things tough, Camille, your thoughts? Obviously, you watched Giannis play all through the regular season and obviously against Chicago Bulls, and there was no one that could guard him. You've seen 35-year-old Al Horford guard Giannis pretty well. You've seen Grant Williams, who's literally like 5 inches shorter, guard him pretty well. Camille, your thoughts on how Giannis has played maybe the first 3 games and him exploding in game 3 and was rough the first 2 games?
Yeah, so I've been a Bucks fan for quite some time. Back to when you could get, lower level tickets for like $25 at the Bradley Center. But Giannis at this point in his career is the kind of guy that when he sees a problem, it might throw him off his game for a little bit, but eventually he tends to figure it out. You saw that he could not do that in the Eastern Conference finals against Toronto a few years back, where they put that wall up and it was over for him. He did not know how to play make out of that. He didn't know how to hit his teammates. He did not know how to score against that. But at this point in his career, in game 1 and game 2, there were some looks that Giannis was getting where he was just missing bunnies. And I'm like, okay, Giannis doesn't normally miss that one. And I think in game 1 in particular, he was expecting to hear a whistle a little bit more often than what he heard. So when he wasn't hearing a whistle, he started getting frustrated. And I saw that especially in game 2. Like it was a point where he got to delay a game because he held the ball after he made it and just walked off before he threw it back. And people are like, oh, he must be tired. And it's like, this man is frustrated right now because he's trying to figure it out. Game 1, the doubles came really quick on him and he was able to play make out of that. So even when, the shots weren't falling, he was able to affect the game somehow still. Game 2, his teammates weren't making it. He wasn't able to get anything going. The second half looked a little bit different, which gave me a little hope, thinking like, okay, maybe he's starting to see something, because in game 2, the doubles were slower. They were delayed at times. Sometimes they didn't come at all. Like has been mentioned, Grant Williams has been playing excellent defense on Giannis. To be 6'6" and that stout, able to stay in front of him, like it is impressive. And he's been doing a great job with that. My concern for the Celtics in game 4 here without Rob Will, who I must say I am a big fan of. That's a bounce. He is bouncy. He plays defense. I absolutely love it. And actually the way he plays defense reminds me of Giannis in a certain sense, because he's more of like a free safety. Like he is so good off the ball, being help defense, kills it. And that's what Giannis thrives in. So like you saw Giannis getting caught up defensively. He had to go through pick and rolls because that ain't his thing. But offensively, I think game 3 was needed for Giannis to see the ball start going in, to be aggressive. Because one thing, and I'm sure the comments and everyone is saying, is Giannis invites the physicality. He is going to run at you and say, like, if you're stronger than me, then hold up and stop me. But if you are not, I'm going to keep coming at you. And he does not get deterred by no whistles. He doesn't get deterred by falling on the ground. He is going to keep coming over and over and over. And over a course of a series, it can really wear on a defense. It can really wear on them, where there's kind of like, my chest is on fire right now. I have been getting hit in my chest for 3 straight games, and I got to keep doing this again. And that's part of what I think Giannis thrives in, and part of why also he gets better as series goes on. He's figuring it out. He's getting comfortable. And at that point, people start getting tired. Like, I'm curious to see how 35-year-old Al Horford continues to hold up throughout this series, having to guard Giannis.
Right.
Interesting. So, and you mentioned a lot of things, and I saw people in the comment section saying this because instantly, my guy Tom, shout out to Tom. Camille, how many yards did Giannis rush for tonight? Thanks for coming. I saw another one saying Giannis is the only player in NBA history to be allowed to run full speed at the hoop the whole game and not foul out. We're gonna get to this thoughts because I know Bree, you had a lot of strong thoughts.
I have so many things to say.
We have a lot of people on both sides complaining about referees and foul calls. I want to say it's just a start, and then we can get into everyone's takes. Referees will always be bad. I don't know why people are shocked when referees make bad calls. For me, it's just like it's a part of the game. That's why we love basketball. To also make fun of referees because they make bad calls. Bree, your thoughts on the non-calls for the Celtics, maybe the too many calls for Giannis. Your thoughts on how that?
Yeah, well, first, I'm so glad that she is here because I want another girl on this panel. Awesome. Love it. Chop it up with you. And I want to see your perspective because when I did a recap of game 1 and literally when I tell you I was praising Giannis and the Bucks and saying how shitty the Celtics played, and I had about like 30 Bucks fans rip me apart for no reason whatsoever. And so I'm like, all right, I need to talk to somebody who has some sense, who has a brain, who is a Bucks fan, where we can like relate because I don't know what these people were on. But anyways, all I was saying was I think Giannis is great. Now, fast forward, I see a post on SportsCenter that's quoted Giannis, and you know how they always kind of misquote or only take a snippet. So I'm not sure what the full quote was, but basically the quote said that Giannis said, "Oh, how much is it for a fine? $200,000 if I'm talking bad about the refs? I'll save my money. I got to pay for some diapers." But in my head, I was like, the man got 42 points and won game 3. So what on earth does this man have to complain about? Somebody tell me. I didn't understand. I was like, wait, are we watching the same game here? Because you just won and you get the best whistle I've ever seen. So what on earth was he talking about? So can you enlighten me? Like, what do you think he meant by that?
I definitely can, as somebody, again, who watches Giannis often.
Yeah, because I just didn't understand why he was upset.
I feel you. Well, one, I want to say the diapers thing is a very genuine comment. For me.
Right.
He is notoriously frugal based on the way he grew up. Like he is not trying to let go of any bread. But two, Giannis gets hit a lot. And one thing with Giannis is kind of like a Shaq syndrome where it's like, I'm stronger than a lot of people that are out here, but I'm still getting fouled. Like it doesn't look like it might be that I'm getting fouled, but I am getting fouled in this moment. And on the free throw perspective, end of the game, the Bucks only had 17 free throws attempted. The Celtics had 34. We had far more points in the paint. Giannis was continuously driving over and over and over, and we did not get a free throw in the entire fourth quarter. So definitely thankful that there was a win that came out of it. But I can see why he was upset. And I want to say that to also say I can see why Celtics fans were upset because the reffing in this series, not even just game 3, it's been bad. It's been bad on both sides. Like I've tweeted out certain things that I saw where I'm like, oh, that's a goaltend, or oh, you know what? That's not a flagrant foul on Grant Williams. He was just wrapping Giannis up. Like that's just a playoff foul. Don't get mad about that. And people were in my comments or my mentions like, oh, you sound like a biased Boston fan. And I'm like, man, I'm going to call it how I see it. Exactly. Sometimes it is a foul. Sometimes it is not. Just because it happens to your team does not mean like, you know, no one else is having things happen to them. Like the officiating has been really bad in this series. And also it's been inconsistent from like quarter to quarter, where it's like one thing's a foul in one quarter, then the next quarter it's not. You can see Jason Tatum push off. It's not called. Giannis is going down. He pushes off and it's a foul that time. Like it's just the inconsistent part of it. So for me, I don't really get into the whole like reffing thing because at the end of the day, there's some calls that were missed that favored the Bucks. There were some calls that were missed that favored the Celtics. And that's just the way that it went. All that I ever asked for is to call it both ways. Whatever you're calling on one end, call it on the other end.
Totally agree. No, I appreciate that too. Cause like I respect someone who like calls it as they see it. They're not biased and they're not like, oh, that wasn't a foul. No.
Yeah, I hate that.
Like no, you're like, yeah, that was a foul.
It'd be foul sometimes. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
It'd be foul sometimes, but a lot of people in the comment section are not going for it. I see my guy Rashid here saying, stop the cap. I see people just saying it's not just he charges because he fouls, spreads out for him. Like you see George Hill's face when Giannis fouled, they assessed it to him. Now, I had this comment in our post-game show that me and my guy Jags did game 2. Was it game 3? Yeah, it was game 3. And I was like, superstars are going to get calls. That's just how the game works.
Yeah.
You'd rather see Giannis playing in the game than Marcus Smart. I don't think that's a shocker to anyone, but I think it hurts watching it in real time. Cal, what were your thoughts watching how these fouls were assessed? Do you have a problem with anything that Giannis gets away with? I guess we can ask.
No. What is this, like the 5th time we've matched up against Giannis with the Celtics and Giannis matchup against each other. It's playoffs. This is what it's going to be. If they're going to call it bad, at least call it bad both ways. I don't have a problem with it.
Right.
I'm okay with that. I like the old school ball. I like everybody getting up in their elbows, maybe a little bit of fist in there sometimes. I'm all right with it. But like, as long as they're going to call it even on both sides, I'm cool with it. Yeah, it's been inconsistent. It's like they have a huddle, what they're going to look for each quarter or something like that. I don't know. But Tatum pushes off, Brown pushes off, Giannis pushes off.
Yep.
If you're a star, you push off. That's what you do. I mean, that's just when you go into the hole, that's what you do. Giannis's game is based around the Shaq mode. I'm going to just go in there and dunk on you 1,000 times. That's just what it is. I'm not going to post you up. I'm just run straight in and try to dunk on you. I really don't have a problem with it. I feel like it's going to even out. I mean, there's just no other way around it. That's just how it always goes with the playoff series.
Yeah, I would agree. And a lot of people on Twitter, because the reaction after game 3 is we only lost because of free throws, even though Tatum had 10 points. So we only lost because the referees weren't giving us foul calls. But again, Marcus Smart had 2 assists in the game. So we played poorly. And I think you should also deserve to lose some of those games. You allowed a team to shoot just as bad as you, but made better plays at the end. They also gave up a 13-point lead, and you came back, took the lead, and then gave up a layup on the other end. And again, I think it's fair to say, and someone said, you're wearing Celtics glasses. It's funny because I didn't know these glasses were Celtics. I think they're just regular prescription. What I will say to this comment is funny is because I always go back and forth with this, because I don't know if y'all remember that play where Drew Holiday had, I think there was a layup to go up by 2 or go up by 3, and Tatum fell on the ground. And people are like, oh, it's a push-off, where clearly Tatum flopped. Tatum was 6'10", probably 245, 250, a strong dude, and fell. And oftentimes our guys flop and try to get a call. I saw Ime say something, whether it was before game 3 or after game 3, it was like, if we don't fall, they're not going to call the foul, which I guess is fair. For me, I feel like just play through it, be physical back and forth, and just try to play that way. And I'm cool with that. Really quick, before we get lost in track, I want to get some of my keys to the game. Now, here we go. Then to buy SeatGeek as well. Promo code BeastMove at checkout. Get $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek.com. Anyway, get Giannis in foul trouble. Again, important. Just attack him on offense. Make sure he has 2 fouls in the first quarter. And then from there, you're chilling. Next up, knock down open shots. I don't think this is a shocker to anyone. We were asked. We shot 27% from 3. They shot 26. Maybe that's flip-flop. We shot very, very poorly. They're giving us open looks. Tatum was off from 3. Knock them down. It's not that hard. Force Lopez and Bobby Portis to beat you. Portis came off the bench in game 3, and it actually ended up working for them, even though Grayson gave them pretty much nothing offensively. Force Lopez and Portis to beat you. If Lopez is going to go back down the post and do post moves and hook shots over Al Horford, you will live with that. Same with Bobby Portis. Cal, we can go to you, my guy. Your thoughts here. Any keys to the game you're looking at, player you're looking at, or statistic here?
I need Tatum to play like he's Giannis. Just one game. I just need I don't mean attack the hole every time. What I mean is what I've been seeing from Giannis is if he doesn't have the ball in his hand, he's setting the off-ball screen. Or if he has the ball in his hand, he's getting the screen. I want to see Tatum set more off-ball screens and get some more easy looks, something other than just trying to shot create for himself, because it's not working right now. Well, last game it wasn't working. I shouldn't say it's not working right now, though. Last game it just wasn't working. Giannis can go off because he's going to do what he wants to do all the time, because nobody can really guard him other than Grant Williams. Just cover the three-point line. I'm tired of seeing everybody have open threes. It's just getting ridiculous at this point. The wall thing isn't working. Giannis can play make now. This is the first season I've really been seeing him able to pass out of a lot of shots that we would have seen him in the past, just try to just take it up over people. And Tyson Grant need to play out of their minds. That's really all I need to see, because we only lost by a second. If it, we would have went to OT. And there's still possible we could have lost. But if it wasn't for that tip, well, if Rob didn't throw that tip off to the side, honestly, so that's just it. I mean, we could have easily been a different game if Tatum maybe would have put up another bucket or something like that. But yeah,
easily.
I just feel like stick to the plan, just guard the 3-point line more, stop giving up open shots.
I agree. And also that the strategy of let one person beat you, it works in some aspects. Let Giannis cook and just guard everyone else. It was tough when you let Drew Holiday score 20-plus points. Brook Lopez giving you double figures. It's tough. Bree, your thoughts? Any player you're looking at?
No, I totally agree. I would love to set like hacky Giannis a little bit if the tempo's going too much in the Bucks' favor, right, and they're on a roll, slow the game down, slow the momentum down. You want them to not be on a roll, so hacky Giannis a little bit. He's not that great at the free throw line, so use that to slow down their momentum a little bit, get in his head. I mean, that's what I would like to see. Obviously, we need our shooters to be on. Like I said, when we had JB only only having 6 points for the first 3 quarters of that first game 1, and then only finishing the game with 12. Same thing happened here at game 3 with Tatum. Can't win a game if Tatum only has 10 points. Just isn't going to happen. So we need our stars to show up. We need to contain who we can contain. Obviously, it's very hard to contain Giannis. So maybe just let him eat. Don't focus on him so much. Focus on exactly what you said, the 3-point shooters. Make sure they are not eating, because that's really what we need to worry on right now is the 3-point line and making sure we're covering the right people. Giannis is going to be Giannis. He's going to do what he's going to do. There's really no stopping or containing him. If you can slow him down, great. That's awesome. But he's going to do what he's going to do no matter who's reffing the game, no matter who's in front of him. We just need to steal one here because we're not trying to go down 3-1. It's pretty much impossible. Also, a stat that I hate to throw out here.
What's up?
Might be kind of depressing, but I was told that when you're a tie series, right, and whoever wins game 3, 73% of the time wins the whole series. So that sucks that we ended up losing that game. So I'm hoping that, that 30-something% is in our favor and we can even it up going back to Boston on Wednesday. So
very interesting.
Now we're playing like shit and we only lost by 2. So come on now. Play better. Play better.
That would be fair. On probably Camille's side, the Bucks also didn't play very well,
no,
and they
did not.
They won by a couple
they did
of
not.
points.
No, they did not.
Camille,
Both
your
teams
thoughts here?
Played bad.
Yeah,
Camille, your thoughts here. Go ahead.
Game 3, the Bucks almost smoked that game. That's all. After during the fourth quarter, I'm like, y'all are smoking this right now. Like, come on, the game was not over at the end of the third quarter. Keep hooping. But game 4, keys to the game. The Bucks are going to do what they're going to do defensively. And the Bucks strategy is to take away the paint, give up nothing there, and allow weaker shooters to shoot open looks so they can commit more attention to Tatum and to Brown and to anyone else who might be a threat on that team. So that being said, the key is just hoping that Grant Williams, Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard, if Daniel Tice gets in the game, that these guys are shooting their season averages or worse. That's the first hope. And also just don't give up anything easy on the rotations. Don't let the open looks be super easy. Like, give a little bit of a contest, force these guys to put the ball down, try to make a move, step back 3, whatever the case might be. Make the shots a little bit more difficult defensively, and I think they'll be fine. If they lose because Marcus Smart goes 8 for 9 from 3, so hey, we'll shake your hand and say, good game. So be it. We'll see you in Boston. So defensively, that's a big part of it. Offensively, really just keep going through Giannis. Giannis and Drew have to just take the lead here. Drew put up 30 shots in game 3, which is very unlike Drew Holiday. But without Chris Middleton, he has to. He absolutely has to. And also, aside, I would love to know how y'all feel about Chris Middleton, because I've heard some things from Boston fans about how they feel about Chris Middleton.
Killer. He's a Boston Celtics killer. So him being out is a huge advantage for us. But honestly, I'm shout out to the Bucks. With them not having Middleton, they are still doing well, and they are managing to, hold their own without him. And he's definitely a key factor and key piece for you guys. So,
and honestly, when I saw Middleton was missing the series, I was like, I don't know if the Bucks can win this without Chris Middleton. That was my honest first reaction. Like, I don't know if they can do it without Chris Middleton, because the Bucks struggle in half-court offense. And as you can see in the series, still struggling in half-court offense, especially without Chris Middleton. The Bucks have been killing on transition buckets. So game 4, cause some turnovers, let that defense work for you, cause some turnovers, get those transition buckets, because everything in the half court is going to be difficult, especially without Chris Middleton there. Somebody who does not need an assist to get a shot off, like a Pat Connaughton or, Grayson Allen, so on and so forth. So that whole Giannis and Drew have to step into that and really fill that up. And then if Brook can eat a little bit, maybe turn back the clock a little bit, give us a Brooklyn Brook kind of game, that would be some love. Bobby Portis showing up. And honestly, similar to the Celtics, the open guys have to knock down their shots. Like, the Bucks have, for some reasons, even during last year's championship run, we have shot terribly from 3 after being pretty good at it in the regular season. I don't know what that is, but I feel like the Bucks at some point are due for like a wild regression game. Like, the Celtics got their franchise record 3 game. The Bucks are due. They are due for some type of huge 3-point explosion at some point.
Very interesting takes and great takes as well. And I see some people, I just love kind of sitting back sometimes. Again, we have 130 people watching for no reason.
Wow.
I appreciate y'all. But what I will say really quick is I love sitting back and letting these guys do their thing and reading some of the comment section because y'all are some stupid or funny people. I see this beautiful comment from my guy,
never
Nick G, I
fails.
love you. Who paying these refs though? And then K Ursa says the refs ain't go for 19. Now that's tough. And that's fair, but it's also tough. Let me give my thoughts real quick and we can pivot on to Jason Tatum. Now, finally, about 2 weeks ago, I finally caved in and I said Jason Tatum is a superstar in this NBA. He's a top 12 player because I believe only 12 players in the NBA are superstars. That's just my thoughts. Anyway, after I said that, damn, I might be a cursing at him too because next thing you know, he goes and gives me a terrible performance and people in the comments saying, Bobby, you're stupid. Bobby, you know what you're talking about. You crowned him too early. I want to say this really quick about guys like Giannis and LeBron and maybe a little KD, but definitely Steph Curry. When you have superstars and they're having a rough shooting day, they're having a rough offensive night, they can still affect the game in positive ways with rebounds, assists, and defense. Tatum gave me nothing. One rebound and 3 assists for a superstar is sad, bro. I'm sorry. So that's one thing I want to say about my guy Tatum is tonight might be the night where he puts up a shut up. I'm sorry. Bree, I want your thoughts here with Tatum.
No, you're right.
Tatum has a bad game again. What are your thoughts? Do your thoughts change on Tatum?
So I don't think he's going to have another bad game again, but it's funny. Like I have a lot of people hit me up about this stuff, right? I even had my uncle text me the other day and he's like, listen, I'm disappointed in Tatum. If you're a superstar and say you're not having a good night, you need to facilitate for other people and put in work in other ways if the shots aren't falling for you. And I was like, damn, am I rubbing off on my family? What's good? I agreed with what he was saying. Like, if you are supposed to be a superstar and say you're having an off night, you need to make everybody else better. Like that should be your role. Like it's a team sport. It's not just about you. So the fact that maybe, he's young, he's only 19, he needs to still learn about that level of the game. He needs to learn about that level of being, a superstar and being a captain, because that's kind of a captain role, to, put others before yourself. I do believe that Tatum is clearly more, I don't want to say the word selfish, but creating more shots for himself than others. Like that's his main goal. That's his main focus. So obviously when you're having an off night, that can't be your focus. If it's not you and you don't have it, you need to figure out something else you can do to positively influence and impact the game. And he just didn't have it game 3 at all. And, he just looked defeated. He didn't look like he was in the game. So I'm really hoping that he now has a chip on his shoulder for tonight. And he just shows everybody that was a mistake. That was a fluke game. And let's do this right now. Game 4, tie it up. Tatum just needs to wake up. That's all. No one likes those midday games. No one likes matinee games. Let's abolish them. I'm over that shit.
It's a fact.
Abolish them. I'm over it. Why we need a 1:30? Why do we need a 3:30 game? No one needs that. Nobody wants that.
You are preaching. Can we get like some organs behind her?
No one
calm
wants this.
down on the preaching. There might be some false prophesying going on here. I like the early day games. Come back from church with get some chicken and your nachos, and then you can watch the basketball game at 1:00 since there's no NFL. No. Cal, your thoughts, man? Because I know you've been tough on Tatum sometimes as well. Where are you going here? Are you believing in my guy Tatum to pull through tonight?
Speaking about them early day games, that's just not a thing of the regular season because that throws off everybody's sleeping time. Most players sleep until like midday, and then they go on for the shoot around. That throws off everybody's time. So I don't like those games anyways. But Tatum, what I need out of him, I need my boy to look like this right here. That's what I need my boy to look like for the rest of the series. That's all I need. He is not a superstar in my eyes. He's a star. There's just superstar to be like there's just more. I need to see more out of Tatum. Like he gets the rebounds. The assists, he just really started passing the ball this season, honestly. But there's too many times where he just keeps shooting. Shoot or shoot, I get it. Shoot or shoot, and that's just how it's always going to be. But it doesn't matter if he bricked the joint 15 times, he's still going to keep putting it up. It could be 5 people open. He's still going to force it sometimes. And I just get tired of seeing it. It feels like people about to hate because I'm about to say this. It feels like a few seasons ago when we used to look at Marcus Smart putting up like 8 threes a game, and we're like, why are you doing that? There's no reason for you to keep shooting even though you keep bricking. That's how I feel about Tatum when he has his super bad games. I just feel like, bro, like just pass the ball. Just pass the ball. And it's not all his fault, because at times, if he's not playing well, it seems like a lot of time JB ain't playing well. So, like, the other people got to step up and help him up. When he passes that ball, they got to step up. And he needs to start taking more mid-ranges. That is his bread and butter. When he came into the league, the best thing about him was his mid-range. He fell in love with the three-point shot. That's just, and it goes in sometimes, but I just need him to go back to what made him so great in the first place. We don't look at Kobe as a three-point shooter, and that's who we always like to say Tatum is, right? Tatum, I need you to go to the mid-range. Take them easy shots. And I know it's not that simple, because the mid-range, they like to take that away in the playoffs, because you want people to shoot threes, because that's what you usually miss. But yeah, I need a full season of Tatum balling out for me to say he's a superstar, not just second half. I need it from the first game.
Cal, this is an important moment in this show's history. I will tell you this. I've always been known as the Celtics hater. Cal, you're probably officially taking that title away from me, big fella. I know they are crucifying in the comment section right now. Really quick, let me get to some comments here. Are y'all streaming live for the game? Interesting grammar. But family football, I am not. I'm actually going to go and watch the game with some buddies of mine. That's not my name. But if the refs let the Bucks drive and rush over people that position in the post, then what? Well, that's fair. We don't know what's going to happen. We'll see what happens. Ursa, or Azariah, I can pronounce your name. Tatum can get 40. Horford ain't getting 20. JB inconsistent, and Bucks hit threes. It's over. A lot of ifs there, so I don't know. Giannis dropping 40 on the head. I don't know about that one. Shout out to ATL. Any other cool comments I've seen here? Mid-range is open. He doesn't need to be like Bird. He has more 50 pieces than he got already. Interesting.
When I say that, I mean I want to see a more complete game. I know he's a better scorer than Bird was already. That's just, I don't care what anybody telling me. There's no conversation there. But like, I just want to see a more complete game. Like, I want to see
the grit and the attitude. Like,
yeah,
just, like be hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, just,
be
like,
hungry. I don't want to see you bitching at every call you don't get.
Right.
Like that's why I don't like a lot of current day players in general. I just want to see my man go out there, play hard. You miss a shot, get back on defense, make a play.
Right. Stop
let the defense get you going. Let the easy shots get you going. Take it to the hole sometimes. Don't wait till the end of the game, start taking it to the hole, because he waited too long last game to start going in. That was like, that's what really made me mad, because it's like, y'all shooting us out the game. There's not much you can do if you just shoot. What did he shoot last game? I don't even know what it was. I know he missed over 15 shots. I know that much.
Bad. Yeah, it was bad.
It was pretty bad. I was just looking like, every time I saw the ball, I was like, pass it. I don't even want to see the ball in your hand, man. Pass it.
Right.
Cal is getting his frustrations off on my boy Jason Tatum. I see a cool comment. Brandon Bohan says, JB is better than JT. Come at me. Bobby, I'm calling you out. What makes JT not a superstar is inconsistent. I don't know if that is a good grammar there.
They both inconsistent. I'm sorry.
They both inconsistent, but Tatum's definitely a better player than Brown. Let's calm down with that one. But speaking of better players, before we get into our amazing predictions, because we have about 10 minutes here left for me to dip here, I want to talk really quick about maybe dirtiness in players. And Camille, I'm sorry to put this on you and put you on the spot here, but a lot of people can say that maybe Giannis, as well as a great defender, is a little dirty. People say he shouldn't have chased down Tatum, and maybe that could have been an injury on both players, honestly, but especially Tatum. He has some plays where he probably puts his foot under guys when they're landing. We saw Kyrie Irving last year. Your thoughts on Giannis? You've seen him play more than all of us here. Do you think Giannis plays a little dirty, or is that just the edge he plays with?
No, I don't think he plays dirty. I think at times Giannis can play reckless, which in itself can be dangerous to other people, including himself. But I will say that as he's gotten older, he has done a better job of being able to control in that. The block attempt that he had on Tatum, that's something that he is going to do. Like, we've seen the highlights from the finals. That's part of what Giannis does. That's what he does. And he went for the block when it happened. I was thankful that he didn't get much body, but he still affected Tatum in a way that made him fall kind of awkwardly. And I was like, I hope he's okay. We don't want to see that. But I would not call Giannis a dirty player. Reckless at times for sure. But dirty, no. He's going to hustle and give it his all every single possession. Sometimes that's to his detriment. Sometimes it's, to the team's benefits. But that's just the way that he is going to play the game.
That was perfectly said.
I
have a question for her. So the one thing that I did kind of get crucified by the Bucks fans for saying, and I kind of want your honest take on this. And if
I got you,
and I'm still, obviously there's no real answer to it because we don't really know. But in your opinion, do you think the Bucks tried to bow out and not play the Nets in the first round to get an easier first round matchup?
Here's what I think. And if
That's
you
like the
have
big
followed,
heated thing.
yeah, I know. And if you follow the Bucks, you'll know this to be true. The Bucks aren't really scared of anyone. Like you saw, they've been beating the Nets throughout the regular season. They beat the Nets in the playoffs. I think once they got that monkey off their back, they were just like, we're good here. Season's ending. They played, I believe they had a back-to-back, and they played everyone, which surprised me. And I was like, I did not expect you guys to play everyone, but they did. Very last game of the season, they said, hey, we're currently in the 2 seed. We can't go any lower than 3 here. So whatever happens, happens. We are fine with either matchup, no matter which way it goes. And from my understanding with the Celtics, the choice was either going to be a 2 seed or a 4 seed. And understanding from what's been rumored that all Celtics players might not be vaccinated, a matchup with Toronto might not be favorable if some of your guys, wouldn't be able to play. So when I heard that, I was like, oh, of course the Celtics are about to go for it, because why wouldn't they? Of course, they can beat the Nets. Like I was like, it's going to be Celtics. I thought it was going to be Celtics in 7, but y'all blew that out the door. But
Same. I thought that too.
Yeah, I don't think the Bucks were scared. I think it was more of a like, we don't really care either way it goes. Okay. We're going to play who's in front of us. And I feel for the Celtics, it was more advantageous to get that Brooklyn matchup and not have to even deal with crossing borders in case vaccination status came into play. But as the Celtics show too, they weren't scared either, which is why I honestly feel like whoever wins this series between the Bucks and the Bucks and the Celtics, that's who's going to win the East. And I felt that way as soon as this was announced. Like, it's just these are the heavyweights right here. I'm sorry to Philly, sorry to Miami, but in my opinion, these are the 2 teams right here in the East.
No, I totally agree. And I think whichever team comes out, I think it's just going to be the team that plays better is just going to win. I think both teams are pretty even, and I will respect the outcome either way. Obviously, I want it to go in my favor, but I had nothing against the Bucks. I think obviously they're the defending champs. They have the reigning MVP, so finals MVP. So it's like, if we lose to them, I'm not going to be too upset about it because we really battled. But if we're going to not play well, and just kind of let the wheels fall off and we lose in a terrible fashion, then I'm gonna be a little upset. But if it's like a tooth and nail fight, game 7 type thing, which I feel like it honestly is going to be that, then I'm here for it. And I'm glad that it is against the Bucks, and I'm glad that we have you here because you're definitely the best representation of the Bucks fan base, because I've been dealing with some people that made me go, what is going on in Milwaukee? What am I saying that you're not hearing? So I'm glad that we got to chop it up today. I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, no problem. Most Bucks fans are pretty chill. If you ever get a chance to come to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, I don't know whatever would bring you here, but if you do come in the summertime when it's nice, you live on the East Coast, you understand. The winter, right? But summertime, excellent.
Good to know.
I like all the stuff being happy and people in the comment section. Oh, this is such I want to get back to the competitive spirit. What happened to going at people's throats? Really quick before we forget, because I do not want to forget this. Again, our amazing sponsor over at PrizePicks. Use promo code Celtics Corner, the best fantasy game on the market. Again, link in the description as well. PrizePicks, the over-under game that we play here. We only have a couple minutes, so I'll go and run through this really fast. Jaylen Brown on the left-hand side. That's 4 rebounds. Again, for you to win your money, he has to get 5 boards or at least tie with pushing at 4 rebounds. I would take the over on this. I think 5 boards, especially with no Rob Will, there'll be extra balls around so Jaylen Brown can get them. On the right-hand side, Jason Tatum at 27.5, only scored 10 points like Kyle was saying earlier. I don't think he hits it. It's just too high for me, but I think he definitely has a better game, like 24, 25 points, efficient shooting. So I take the under on Tatum, 27.5. But it is time for the main event. Prediction time. People in the chat, go ahead, type in your prediction. Who wins and what is your damn score? Kyle, we're going to start with you, big fella. Your thoughts, who wins, who loses, game 4 pivotal game, man. Go ahead.
I got the Celtics, of course. I got to go down with the ship. We picking it either way.
I respect it.
We got to win this, man. We got to win this journey. I'm saying we're going to win by – it's going to be a close one. It's going to be a buzzer beater. I see like every game for the rest of the series is going to be last. It's going to be within the 5 points. So I'm saying Celtics get the dub 110 to 112. I mean, my bad, 110 to 108.
110 to 108. Ain't mad about that. I do mess with that. Camille, your thoughts? Celtics Bucks. Who wins this game for?
Here's my hesitation here. Jason Tatum has historically, after a bad game, come out and been on fire. But Jason Tatum has also had his worst playoff games against the Bucks. So I got to kind of weigh which way do I want to go here. But I'm of course going Bucks. I think the Bucks will win. The Bucks don't tend to lose at home. We are pretty stout at home. I think they'll be able to protect home court. And honestly, if the Bucks, no, I'm not going to put that weight on their head, but I would love for us. Hey, I was just going to say, so after being a Bucks fan for so long and losing, you get kind of scared. And I was just thinking to myself, if this is the championship team that I think that they are, they could put out a statement win today and change the whole course of this series going forward. But it doesn't really matter to me if it's a statement win or an ugly win. I just need the Bucks to get this dub before heading back to Boston. So I am going to go Milwaukee. I'm going to say 115, Boston 101. I think the 3-point variance catches up for the Bucks and they actually start hitting some of those tonight.
So what she's saying there, and ass whipping's going to be in Milwaukee. Luke Cornett will be on the floor. I'm shocked here. 115. That's tough. Bree, your thoughts here? It's one Bucks.
It's a must win. Celtics. It's a must win for the Celtics. I thought they were going to win Game 3, and they almost did. Only losing by 2, and both teams weren't at their best. You need to steal one on the road. I wanted them to steal 2 on the road, but that's just not in the cards. Obviously, if they want this to be a 7-game series that they could potentially win at home at the Garden, they need to win this one tonight. And I'm going to have them winning the game. It's going to be a close game. I already said this. My predictions for the beginning of this series, I said they were going to be within single-digit games, like very close games. Obviously, Game 2, when we blew them out, that was a very odd win. But I think it's going to be Celtics 117, Bucks 114.
Interesting.
Got to do it. Got to get it done.
I like so 2-1. Celtics, and I'm seeing a lot of people. And again, it's cool to have a good mix of people. We did have 180 people watching for, again, no reason, but I appreciate y'all watching.
Thanks, guys.
So I appreciate that. A lot of Bucks fans, a lot of Celtics
record
fans.
For the pregame?
I think we hit 190 one time, but again, hey, I'll take second place.
Find 10 friends. Find 20 friends. Let's go real quick.
We have 103, 100. We have 109, 104. We have a lot of cool scores. 110, 94, 103, 105 Boston. Just a lot of scores. Y'all can see them in the comment section. I think it's time. Jags, if he was here, would say, Bobby, you jinxed the team. Pick against your team every time. Obviously, last time it didn't work out. So maybe there is no jinx that Beast Move has here. So I'm going to pick with my heart and not my head. I will speak with my chest. But before I say my damn prediction, with 150 people in the building, I want to thank Camille for coming on to the show.
Yes,
she actually does co-host a podcast.
I feel a lot better about Bucks fans now after this.
I'm glad.
Come back anytime.
A podcast on YouTube. There it is. So if you hit this link, it will take you to Technical Foul Podcast on YouTube. They have a lot of cool stuff on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, a bunch of stuff. Go ahead, click that link. Get her to 125 subscribers. Her and her friends are phenomenal. Check it out. Good listen to. And maybe we can get Camille on the show eventually down the week. Maybe this series goes a little longer. We'll hear it. Now, here we go. My predicting, I'm going to go Celtics win. Yeah, boo-hoo. Yeah, crazy. I will say 115. 108. Celtics win today's game. I'm going to go Tatum has 24 points. Brown, a sneaky 33 points tonight. I will like that score. It is 7:30. I appreciate that. Again, people subscribe to her. Again, my guy, 40 count, always in the building, always on time, and always giving his energy. Bree Marie D on Instagram and Twitter. Subscribe to Bree as well. I think Bree's YouTube is somewhere here. If not, you can find all our stuff on Instagram.
Twitter and Instagram. Find me there.
There it is. Bree Marie D on Instagram and Twitter. At Camille Monet, maybe I pronounced that correctly, on Twitter. And definitely her link is in the chat so you can subscribe to her on YouTube, all the boys. There it is. We're out of here. Again, subscribe to the channel. We're gone. Appreciate y'all for 8,200 subscribers this morning. I appreciate that. God bless. Hope you guys have a good one. This game. We're out of here, y'all. Peace out.